Here, let's see what happens on the back end of YouTube this time. And it says live. Yeah, see, like this time it went straight up live. I can't see myself, but that's fine. All right, yeah, there we go. I'm going to assume that everything's good. I'm going to pop it up. Did you want to share your screen? You start by sharing your screen and show us what you're working on, man.
Okay, so to be honest with you, I'm not sure what I'm working on yet, but I can assure you I'm working on something. Figuring out
That's great.
So right now, I'm not sure. Is my screen share? Everything looking good?
Yeah. Yep. It sure is. I can see you and me and everybody else.
So right now, I'm not sure. Is my
okay.
screen share?
Oh shit! Yeah, you sound good now.
Hey, okay.
Wow. Man, we sound good. Okay.
Hey, man, we're just two good sounding mofos over here. So actually, let me pull you up on so I can see everything over here as well. Rock and roll. Okay. So I can see my screen on my phone now, and I've been playing around with this. It's the offset tool and compound path. So I kind of want to do something.
Whoa, dude! What? Right? What the? What's going on right now? Wait,
Illustrator, baby.
Illustrator can now like combine the things automatically.
Well, no, actually, I saw this tutorial a while ago, and
dude, what the?
Show you how to do it.
Yeah, you gotta show me how to do that, dude. Fudge. Okay. What?
So you can do it.
What? Right? No, dude. Though that's sick. Because like the best tool up until that's magic. The best tool up until that point was the I loved when they brought in Shift M, Control M. I can't think of what it was, but you'd like overlay the stuff and then you'd like select spots out. Like that's like painting your shapes together, which was way better than like the old school way. What? That's magic. Show me, dude. Right,
so, you can do it any point. Oh wait, let me make sure I make my just use the arbitrary color, and then oops, there we go. Bring that over and just make that. You can do however you want, but it's just the way I saw the tutorial do it. So you're going to select both your shapes, and you're going to make them into a compound path. And then what you do?
How'd you do that?
Oh, just Command 8, or you could go into Object.
Oh, you're just selecting all of them.
Yeah, just select them both.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Command or so compound path is Command 8 or Control 8 on PC.
Oh. 8. I thought you said A. So yeah, you select both of them and then compound Command 8.
Yeah, okay. Compound path. Then once you have them as a compound path, you'll go to Effect, and then you'll go to where's it at? Not path. Oh, path. Offset path. I make it 80. So 80, and you'll hit OK. And then what you'll do is you'll go back to Effect again, Path, Offset Path, Apply New Effect, and then make this one negative the same amount that you made the last one. So I was 80 on the first one, so I'll be negative 80 on this one, and I'll hit OK. And then what you do is you double click whichever one you want to move, and now you got this cool little blobular effect. And when you go in, so the way compound path works, it's kind of like the shape building tool, but it's non-destructive. And so say, all right, so that's my shape, right? And I do something like that, it'll kind of, since I have the two offset paths, they're playing weird with each other, and they're making these little blobular kind of like magnetic touching effects and stuff,
Yeah. And so you did the 80 so that you had a nice big overarching past the circle.
With it too. Yeah. If I go larger with it, the blobular effect will look cooler and all that. But like
Yeah.
I was saying with compound path, so I'll just make another one here. And then make another one here. So compound path is very similar. I'll make two actually. Let's see. So that way, compound path is similar to making a so if I do that, so this is my shape builder tool, right? If I go in,
the shape builder, thank you. That was the one that, like, when that came out, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, that was so nice.
But you know what? So shape builder tool is, you know, once you shape build it, it's built. You can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, it's destructive.
So, yeah. So with the compound path, what makes that cool is, and I can show you how to. Oh, yeah. So if you use the shape builder tool, but you hit option when you do it, it kind of gives it a wait, is it option?
It makes another like shape that you can edit in there. Like, it makes that
yeah.
cutout, but
So Command 8, and then you can just kind of click it. And if I want to move it or something, I could be like, okay, I want my circle to be here. If it wasn't completely.
so, and that's the shape builder tool but if you did the option when you clicked it.
Yeah. It's a shift or option, one of the two, and you can move it around and do whatever you want with it. So let's see, go back, shape builder, shift. My computer is. Hold on.
Yeah, that's frustrating sometimes, just trying to select like a certain thing. Yeah.
There we go. I made two for some reason, but yeah, if you see, you kind of get what's going on with it. You can
actually that's kind of a cool look too.
Right. Huh.
Can you turn off the grids for a second?
Yeah.
I think was it Alt in colon?
Oh no,
I think
I built my grids in my like. Oh, that's because I'm here. But yeah. So
oh yeah. Oh, I got you. Oh yeah. Good on you. I do the same thing. If I'm going to use a lot of grids, I do the same exact thing.
Gotta keep everything
organized.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of cool. I might mess around with this later.
Dude, I like that. I like too that if you drag that one on the bottom out past it, can you drag it out past it, or either one? Doesn't matter. The little guy. I like that it naturally will give you the red on the outside too.
Yeah.
Could you change that? You could change that color from red to like orange or green or whatever, right? And it'll do the exact same thing.
Well, it makes the whole thing. Let's see.
Oh, because it's a compound path. Yeah. Okay. But you could change the entire thing if you said, oh yeah, man, I don't like the this red.
Yeah.
What if you change that to, yeah, it does change the whole thing. Okay. What's it look like in your layers panel? That thing.
Let's see. Oh, it looks like the.
Oh yeah, it's just a straight up compound. Okay, yeah, because you're in the isolation. Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
Right there. Yeah.
So it's like an editable, to some degree, an editable compound path, which is really cool. And that I really liked your like the way that they kind of like absorb each other. That was really neat.
Oh, over here, yeah. So this is the one where I was showing earlier. Like if you go in, it'll make it simple like that. But the offset paths is what really makes this work.
Yeah. So you had to offset the path plus 80, or it could be based on, it could be more or less depending on how big your actual canvas is. But then, artboard, because we're in Illustrator. But then you minused the 80 again.
Yeah. So what you do is you're gonna make an offset path, and then you're gonna put plus whatever you want on it. And then you're going to make another offset path, and it's going to be negative whatever the value is you put in. before, and you're just gonna apply a new effect. So you're keeping both effects.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just that
Yeah,
one
that's
is inside and one is outside.
that's so much fun, man. And then you could, if you wanted to lock that into place, like if you wanted like right there, right? So then you could keep that as it is, duplicate that, like duplicate that layer, and then you could, I imagine, how could you, because I'm trying to think of like if you shared this with somebody else on your team and you're like, hey, it's easy to edit this thing and I don't want you editing this. Like, this is where this needs to go. Is that like, 12.5 degrees or whatever? I imagine, could you lock that into place destructively so that you could like make it it's a compound path, but I mean, could you?
And then expand. So now it's just one shape.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for, because like if that was like a logo, right? You wouldn't want somebody else coming in and all like, by mistake moving it just to like, instead of the 1 o'clock position, like 1:30 position. That might make a big difference.
So to edit it, you literally have to want to edit it because you have to double click the shape to move it and get it out. But but you can also make it just to a shape, expand the shape and make it into a solid.
Yeah, but you know how like if you're moving fast and like let's say you gave this to me, you're like, Dave, I need your help. Can you throw? I did the base images. I need you to throw the text on or photos or something. I might, as I'm moving fast because deadlines are crazy, I might move it inadvertently and not notice it. Especially if it's at like the 1 o'clock position and goes 1:30 position, I might not really notice that because I wasn't the one who designed it,
Right.
So that kind of like dummy proofs other people messing with it. So unintentionally.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. I like that. So what are you doing with it? What's your kind of your plan for today?
I'm probably just gonna make like a little abstract poster, maybe throwing a font. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna be winging it, and if anybody jumps in the chat and they got any ideas, I definitely just playing around. Just not really focusing on a particular design, but just seeing what comes about.
Just making spheres, man. Just making spheres.
Drawing circles.
Well, right on, man.
Hey.
I'm excited to see what happens with that, even if nothing else.
This is the one.
So,
last time.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Can't tell me ish.
Yeah. Okay. Give me just a second. I gotta throw my wife's kimchi in the fridge. But you can keep talking. It's gonna take me like less than a minute.
Okay, doke. Well, maybe I'll just mess around and start making some stuff. So for now, I'm gonna turn these elements off. I'll just turn them all off. And
okay, I'm back.
Making homemade kimchi.
Yeah, she made homemade kimchi this morning.
Nice.
It's her first time, and I've never attempted anything like that. But yeah, we got a nice new like butcher block island kind of thing in our kitchen, which makes it more than doubles our cabinet space or our counter space, and so it makes it real nice to be able to like actually cook stuff. So the last few days have been both of us have been like, I was making bread on it and it was, oh god, it's so much easier. Okay, so I got a message here a second ago. Let's see what it was before I start sharing my screen.
I'll stop. You want me to stop sharing mine, or you want me to keep let's see what we got here.
Okay. Yeah, it was just Maggie. She was we have a really bad storm going on right now, so she was just checking in, making sure I knew she was all right. Okay, so yeah, I'll share my screen. So yeah, you go ahead and stop sharing yours if you're good. Okay, I'm gonna share. Oh, Where is it? Oh, Photoshop's closed. Give me just a sec.
Okay.
I got a project I was working on a while ago that I'm going to resurrect, which actually is a funny way to put it, and you'll see why. This was another one of those. Oh, shoot. What
happened?
Hold on. Are we still recording? Did you stop recording?
Stop sharing.
Untitled recording. What?
Well, we're still on. We're still.
Yeah, it's
I got the record on.
Oh no, okay. That's weird. I don't know why. I bet you because it's my other. Okay, I got to close that. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Got some technical. I opened up Firefox, which is what I was using before, and it said that your stream has ended. And I'm like, no, wait, hey, cool. But I'm making a Christmas card, and I wanted to do it out of Photoshop stuff. So you'll see it's loading up right now. Apparently, it Photoshop's being dumb. I just had it up.
You know what I just recently learned about Photoshop? That like I was today years old when I found out that
What's that?
If you have a large Photoshop file and you need to email it or send it to somebody, if you turn off the layers, it drops the file size a lot. And then when the other person receives it, they just have to turn the layers back on to get everything. You know, I didn't know that.
Oh, so you're not talking about like flattening the image or saving it out?
Turn off your layers, like hit the little eyeball.
Just like so they're not visible.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll make the file smaller.
I didn't know that that's how it would work. This is great. Barry, my project isn't opening, and I had it literally. Photoshop will not open my projects. Hold on a second. File can't be opened because it was moved or deleted. No, it wasn't. That's a completely different project. Let's try this one. I'm going to try something crazy and weird. I'm going to plug that guy in, see if that's what it is. Dude, this is nuts.
It's part of the
process. Only other way that I can.
This is what being a graphic designer is about.
Dude, man, this, okay, perfect example right here. This is what I'm talking about with like when people give a deadline and they say, oh, can you get this done in an hour? It's like, I mean, maybe if everything goes according to plan, but there's no reason right now why Photoshop should not be opening this file, because 2 minutes before you and I were started this, it was working fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave. Oh man, I can't. If I leave, then the entire stream goes away. So here's we're in a conundrum because I don't think if I leave that it will stay up, but we'll find out. We have somebody in the chat. So, hey chat, sorry, I'm going to leave the stream up. D.Will, you stay in the recording that we're doing on Riverside there.
Okay.
And I'm just going to restart my computer to see if that does it. And then you can say all the nasty things that you want to about me that you've always wanted to tell the world.
Finally.
So
finally.
All right. I'll be back.
Alrighty. Let's see here. While Dave's gone, I guess I'll go back to sharing my screen, and that way you can just design something. I don't know. Bring that down. So I'm not sure what I want to design yet. I'm just kind of messing around, playing it by ear. Maybe do a little word poster or something, you know. Center everything, bring that down to the center. Boom. Bring that over. So, reason why I'm choosing the word potential is because it's part of my branding, Untapped HipHop, tap into your potential. I believe that everybody has it, and a lot of people kind of you know don't know how to use it or are afraid to use it. So part of my whole thing is I want to be a platform for people to showcase their potential. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and expand that. And we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to get our shape builder tool. I just want to make sure everything is part of everything. There we go. So that way I don't have to worry about crazy stuff happening on my design. And bring that over. That's good. Bring this over. Bring that over. There we go. So now everything's a solid shape. All right. And boom. Make sure we get it to my guides. All right. Boom. And boom. We'll just have a little fun with it. See what we can do. Mess around with the shape of things. Make it fun. Don't have to keep it boring. What is that? Yeah. So that's actually two shapes. Huh? I wonder. Let me see. Shift G to unseparate everything. Yeah, let me go ahead and delete that. I wonder if it's the same thing with the A as well. Oops. Yeah, take that out to A. And while we're here, go ahead and take it out to P. Option. So now everything's Gucci, as the kids would say, right? Grab. Just kind of really mess around with the shapes and make them fun. Oops. I don't know how I feel about that just yet, but we'll play around with it later. Bring this over here. Look who decided to show up.
Yeah, dude. All right. So let me switch over my camera here.
Able to fix it?
Yeah. It just took a restart, and I don't know why that was even kind of an issue. So, but let's change out. Hopefully you can turn off your camera while recording, but you can't switch cameras. Are you kidding? Okay, I'm going to leave. Hold on.
Oops.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry. That time that was my bad. I jumped in without selecting my camera, and I'm not used to being in the midst of recording. So, okay.
We're here, buddy.
All right. So yeah, it looks like I like your potential thing, man. I was watching you do that while I was rebooting and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's real cool. You had the word potential up, and I was starting to type into the chat, like, tell them why you use potential. And because it's cool, right? So, and it kind of like ties into the whole branding of stuff.
Yeah.
And you jumped right in talking about it. So that was cool, man.
No, I try. I'm not great at this being on camera stuff, but you know.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Okay, I'm gonna turn down my volume though. It looks like I'm peaking a little bit. I gotta change that back out. Okay, cool. So, but all right. Let me just make sure that I got something. Okay, cool. So you let me know when you're ready for me to take over.
Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead.
See, I like. Oh, okay. You didn't. You just like jumped right out of it. Okay. So I was saying that I was resurrecting something, and I thought that was a funny way to put it, and I didn't mean to, but that's just the inner skipper in me, I guess.
Nice.
So
nice.
So let's see here. So you can see the screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have this fun idea. So I want to make a Christmas card. I'm a morbid kind of guy, right? So so what I did was this is an older thing that I was working on last year, and it's just been sitting here exactly in this state.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see, so I got the hat, I got the beard, the skull, and then I got some background stuff. So let me turn off this skull here. So this was the original image, and then this was before AI. So right now, if I wanted to take that out, I just, select this and then just hit enter, and it automatically will grab that out. But I had to content aware Phil didn't really do a great job on this. So I had to clone stamp the whole thing, which is not too hard with dirt, especially because I was putting a skull over most of it.
Yeah.
So you can see that there's some stuff that I have to still get rid of, like that shadow. Like this is just very base level putting things in.
To be honest with you, you didn't say nothing about that shadow. I didn't even really notice it.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't really notice it until like you turn this on and off, and then you'll see the shadow popping on there. And then the beard was actually another image that it was this guy. Oh, let me turn this guy on full opacity. So I just took this and I cut off his face and everything. So I just wanted that beard. I think I took the hat was the same image.
Yeah.
But I needed to move it over and then warp it so that it fit the skull's face instead of him.
That's looking pretty dope.
So yeah, so you can see like you can see right there that I didn't have to warp it too much, but I had to pull in
to the little ball on the hat a little bit for me.
What's that?
Zoom into the ball right there.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of his beard hair on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that still definitely needs work. And like this part here, you can see right there, when I did the initial masking, that didn't come through. So because the background, I just did a quick mask. Like honestly, all this was mostly just taking the stuff the assets that I grabbed from. I grabbed them from some of them you can see are Adobe stock, and then Envato elements, which I love to use for a lot of stuff. Actually, the skull was let me turn this guy off. Okay, I gotta turn these guys all back on because I turned that off the wrong way. And bring back this guy and this guy. I should actually group those and say dirt. Let me minimize those and throw in the skull. So the skull actually is. Have you used Envato elements at all?
I've used it a few times. I love their 3D elements, but I've only used a buddy of mine who had it.
That's what this is. This is a 3D thing. So, and for those that don't know, I love Envato. Envato is great for everything. The only issue that I have with it, the only issue that I've had is I use the music from there for my YouTube videos, and for client videos too, but it's not an issue because that's more rare to use music to that degree. But when I go into YouTube videos, I'm monetized. So every single video that I have, when I put the audio through it, I have to do the it'll copyright it's not a strike. It's like a, hey, you're using copyrighted music. And so I have to go through the whole process, which is, it's not long, especially now that it's very easy to do. But I have to download the license from Envato and then check a whole bunch of boxes within YouTube. And there's like, it takes like 5 minutes maybe, and then paste it in. Whereas if there's other programs like Soundstripe and I think Artlist, and there's some other ones where you can directly connect your account, your YouTube account, to Soundstripe or those other ones, so that it'll automatically do that process for you. And Envato doesn't do that, unfortunately, at least not yet. And so it adds another level every single video, and it's like, it's not hard, especially because I do it for every video now. But it is a little bit less seamless. But anyway, so for Envato, for people that don't know, one of the cool things is you can say, oh yeah, I want a skull. And so there'll be like a 3D object.
Yep.
And then you can rotate it however you want. So I could look at this skull from the backside, or I can look at it. I can put this skull in any orientation that I want for my thing. So like it happens to be front on this, but like that's one of the coolest things about Envato.
Yeah, that's looking dope.
Hashtag not sponsored by them. Just saying. So and I don't know what I'm doing with the ice here. I honestly don't remember what I was planning on doing with it, but I got it at some point. So I wanted to resurrect this, and then
go back to the ice real quick.
Yeah.
Put the ice layer over the skull and then make it into a clipping mask.
To make like a crystal skull.
Yeah.
And that's linear dodge. So
yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Santa Claus, right? You know,
he's cold.
Yeah, he's a cold piece, right?
Yeah.
Cold as ice.
He's as cold as us. Oh, that'll probably get me copyrighted too.
Oh man, who cares?
Dude, that's even just the texture. I really like that.
And then you can mess with the opacity to bring it down or up or something.
Yeah.
Now it looks like more weather, you know?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll play with that. Did I not have, I don't have my dirt layers activated. So then we got that. Are these not activated either? They must not be activated. So, so you can see like I have a black and white layer because the color in the original is very red. There's a lot of red tones in it. So like the light reflected through, and then I think you're seeing like his the
suit and everything.
His suit, yeah. So I just made a black and white, and then adjusted the curves so that it would be a little bit more dark and whatnot. So
it's been under for a while, right? So it has to be weathered and dirty and aged.
yeah. So you can see here too, I have some red underneath there. So I got to adjust that tone for under there. And then I want to make this dirty because, he's laying in the dirt. So there's a lot left to do on this, but I mean, I could go crazy. I was thinking of even making like some Christmas lights going around or something. And then just, I don't know, like I can't really send this to my,
Here lies Santa.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really send this to people. Like I got nieces and nephews, and I mean they're old enough, but like my brothers and my family. Yeah. Like imagine if they got this and their kids are like But it's this is fun for me. So and then obviously I gotta reconstitute this and get the hair and stuff out of the way.
Right.
And lift that out of the dirt. There's some levels of that I want to get out of the dirt. So, and then lots of different layers. And I figured, hey, it's Christmas time. I know that I was working on Turtle Boy last week, but it's Christmas time, so I'm also trying to get a little bit better at doing timely things. Like this is obviously around Christmas time, so Dead Santa. But Turtle Boy is timeless.
You should go full sin with it, put like an eyeball in one of the eye sockets and
God.
Really make it grunge. Make it to a horror film. like zombie Santa coming back from
yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how far I go with it. This is definitely right up my alley.
Nice.
And yeah. So like I think I'm gonna start with the lower level stuff, like the background here. That needs to get dark, obviously.
Okay.
So like I need to, there's a couple different ways I can do this. So let's see. That's that layers. So
you did a really good job on your clone stamping, though.
Thank you. It's honestly even with work. So like I've done that a lot with my construction photos, where it's like, oh, there's a bottle or something, and I just want to, you know how it is. It's a job site, so you'll have like water bottles kind of throughout, and maybe some extra like caution tape that's kind of fallen, that's over in the corner next to the building, and dirt, grass, gravel, like all that stuff that has a lot of different texture on it is actually pretty easy to clone stamp, because it's not supposed to be perfect. There's no like lines that you need to line up, you know? And so when I see that, it's like, oh yeah, let's do this. We'll do this all day. And now with the AI tools, it's even faster now. So
Stupid. I've been watching commercials on YouTube about my favorite one is with the guy riding the bike, and it has like skid marks around him from the car, and he just like selects it, like take out the skid marks, and it does a phenomenal job. I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw somebody, you know what? Let me try something right now, because I saw somebody do this. It was a short that popped up. I'm going to say, oh, doing that. I see like safety goggles, and like, this could be a construction, PSA, say, don't forget your safety gear, you know, and like, Merry Christmas. Okay, so let's see if I do this on the skull layer, and then I'm gonna say generative fill, and then eyeballs. I'm just gonna give it that and see what it says.
Watch icy blue eyeballs. Blue eyeballs, because I feel like Santa has blue eyes. I don't know why.
Okay, I'm saying inside sockets, but I have not had good luck. Like if I say blah 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 behind the fence, it doesn't register that there's a fence there. It thinks that I want it to put a fence in. So like it's really good if you just give it kind of some specific generics, like that icy blue eyeballs. But even icy might be the wrong word, because it might try to make ice eyeballs and like that. Jesus Christ.
It's like the genie. I love that. That is beautiful. You know what it is? It's like the it's the genie's wish. You know what I mean? You got to be very specific.
Yeah. Oh,
those are pretty dope.
I like, so this one's really good. It did exactly what I asked. And then this one,
I like those.
Yeah, that could be kind of fun. This one, not so much. I see what it did though. It did do some iciness, but it kind of like manipulated the rest of the skull.
Yeah.
Whereas this one manipulated the skull with some ice on the outside. This one basically left the skull alone. I mean, it didn't, but the skull looks pretty intact.
Yeah.
You know, I actually, okay, so I'm going to have a little more fun with this. Hold on a second. Let me remove, I want to see if it'll do a Santa hat for me. So without like, cause this is, this new age. So, okay. So let's see here. I want to do Santa hat. I'm going to be like something like this. Basically just
kind of mimic the
same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna say Santa hat. Which actually, if this does this really well, that's going to be crazy because there's been a lot of photos that I've added Santa hats to. I have one of my dad that I haven't. I have this actually fun idea that I'm doing where I'm adding myself into photos with my dad. And one of them, it's a great photo of him, and then I added a Santa hat, but it's like he's like at this angle and he's laughing and looking, so like the angle of Jesus,
it's looking solid,
dude. That's definitely workable. Oh my god. Okay, well oh man, that's actually
I think
you know what I like about that
off the bottom a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even if I did do that, it's different, which I like. Not so much that, but dude, that happened in what, a minute?
Pretty much.
It took me so long to find the right hat. I honestly just might keep that. I think I'm going to keep that and alter it and like kind of change some of this around and then just play with the shading because I'm going to have to do all that anyway with this guy. Holy smoke. Okay. Okay, so that's shading. Let's give him a beard. Let's see what happens. Where are those eyeballs? Okay, there's
I'm loving this. I'm loving it, bro.
so you get the eyeballs, right? So this is what's nice too. If I decided like, oh, I'm gonna run with this right now, but then in like 10 minutes, I might say, oh, you know what? I want to change it. You can still change your option.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it gives you these three, and then I could do another set if I want to. I think if I hit generate right here, it'll do another three. Let's
see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
It does keep your
yep.
That's
yep. Okay. And so then I think if I change the prompt, it also will be like if I got rid of icy.
So it's like the generative color fill on Illustrator.
Okay. All right, wait. Are those eggs? Those are eggs. What?
You eggs.
I have no idea. Okay, so
they're a little bit smaller.
It's got like this
up the whole socket. It should be like inside the socket.
Yeah. So I wonder if it like I don't know. It's obviously choosing the same mask. Okay, I don't know. Like, all right. So these were definitely better. I'm gonna stick with that for the moment. I'm actually curious now. Okay, I'm going way off the rails here, but so this is one thing though. So you see how? Let's see if I bring this up. Okay, yeah. So this still works on the layer system. So, what happens though is, let's see. Can I do this? Yeah. So you can see everything in the red is masked out, but all this, like this part of the skull here underneath the hat and this part of the dirt is actually something that it generated with the hat. So that's something that this is one of those things that a lot of people, is AI gonna destroy the creative industry? I don't think so. It's just like any other tool. But you still need to know these things of like how a mask works. Right. And then like, oh, I need to change this. And like this hat's perfect, but it's, it's messing around with my other generative fill that I did. So like just these eyes, if I put them above the hat, you can see now the hat isn't really, you see how like it made that, it made this up here, but because I didn't do the hat until afterwards, it wasn't figuring on that. So, if I bring this down below, then it's not an issue, but that's one of those things like people are a little scared, but like you're always going to need somebody to take those tools and like apply it properly to the deliverable that you're looking to get. So,
or they could just learn how to do it themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be straight, like I said, this hat is not perfect, but I can go through here and
fix it.
And yeah, I could warp it if I need to,
Yeah.
which I might actually, because it looks like it's coming out here a little bit too much.
Oh, yeah.
And then the shading isn't right, and you know, this needs to be, I want it to be more of a ball. It doesn't have to be, but
Right.
you know, having the ability and knowledge to do that, I think that's really where it comes into play. So
It looks like the lighting on the dirt. I would flip your dirt.
yeah, it applied it to the dirt. It applied some shadow there. So
Right.
like if I
like the light source on the dirt is different from the light source on the hat.
yeah, so that's the thing. Like I have lighting that looks like it's coming from this direction slightly, because this is a little bit darker here, and there's a little bit of shadow up in on this side, which is really easy to see. So I have to mimic that. And whereas like this hat actually has the lighting coming from this direction,
Right.
so that's going to be potentially problematic. So yeah, like you said, the lighting is a big thing.
That's easy to fix. And you can do that in Photoshop and just dodge and burn a little bit.
Yeah, to some degree. So the issue that I've run into, so the fact that the lighting on the dirt is pretty much even, I feel like it was a pretty high light source, because you don't really even notice the darkness. You can see that the darkness is on the right, like the northeast quadrant, you know. You can see that that's where the shadow is, but it's not so like intense to say it's going the opposite direction, you know. So I feel like that's really easy to kind of mimic this, or easier. One of the things I could do, honestly, that would be the easiest thing, is take my dirt layer and then just flip it.
Yeah. Flip it 180.
Boom. There you go. So now my lighting is coming from the same angle.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the skull is, for the most part, the lighting is even.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super easy for me to play around with. I actually like the lighting better from the other way, but it might also be just because that's the way that I've seen it. So, but what I was going to say is, if the light is intense, like this one here, this over here on the side, come on, it's hard to dodge and burn that, or to burn it, or even like adjust this a lot, because this would still show, this is a pretty intense brightness, and that's really kind of hard to counteract. I would say it's not really worth the effort to do that. In this case, flipping the freaking picture just fixes that. So all the light is now coming from here, and he's more even toned. So like that's super easy to dodge and burn.
Yeah.
It still looks like there's a little bit of light coming in more from here, but that's not enough to be a concern, really.
Right.
And in that case, I could also throw another light source coming in from here, and maybe it's like a, you know, Christmas lights or something, you know. So
true. Very true.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you could probably flip the dirt around, make a Christmas light layer on the side of the hat, and then just change the color of that highlighted area to kind of, since you said you like the dirt the other way around, right?
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna see what it does here, and say Christmas lights.
Can't wait to see what this pops up.
Did I spell Christmas right? It's telling me I didn't. Maybe because it needs to be capitalized. Yeah, it just needed to be capitalized. Okay, cool.
Oh, it's that sensitive?
No, it's not. It would know, but it was just the auto correct.
Oh.
It noticed it as a proper noun.
Gotcha.
So what's cool is you can do this in 100 different languages, which, I mean, I wouldn't know enough of any languages to do it, but like that's cool that it recognizes that. Okay. I mean, not the best. I would also not really what I'm looking for, but I mean, I see what they're going for.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do is
Oiled up Christmas lights or tangled Christmas lights.
I'm going to do this and like give it more
Space.
More zone to work with. Yeah. I'm trying to stay not too specific, like tangled. It's good, but it's not, like I said, I've done a lot of this, and I'm actually not looking forward to, at some point they're gonna make this, some point in the not too distant future, they're gonna make this a credit based system, because you're using that's better. It's not really like, the lights don't look like lights. Like, I've never seen lights like that, but that's closer. But you see, like, this one isn't. Whoops.
Isn't attached to anything.
Yeah, it's not attached. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that I'll get with AI a lot. I do like, though, that you can see that it added the light into the dirt.
Yeah.
You know, that's real good. It sometimes will get stuff really wrong, like this guy here.
It's like, where is this light going?
Let's tell it to generate again, and I like probably that. I think you can. I mean, you can tell it good, poor, or report. But I think this one was the best one. So I don't know if it makes a difference if I select this and then say generate. I know that on Firefly, which is their online version of this, you don't have to have Photoshop. You can select, you'd be like, oh, I really like this one. Use this as an example.
Right.
And then build from that. Dude, his eyeballs are freaking me out.
I love them, man.
It adds a very different aspect to where I was going originally.
Who dares disturb my peace?
God. So that was an interesting creative. Oh, that's way better. That's way better. Okay. I might work with this. And so, okay, actually, let's work with this one. I like this one. And this is, okay, perfect example of why AI is great, but it's not perfect there yet. And so this is a nice, easy way to show how to manipulate. So I'm going to change my, no, not color balance. I'm going to change my hue and saturation. And I'm going to say, what color do I want? Like a blue. Oh, green, actually. That looks like a damn nice green. Okay. So I'm going to say, just go to that. And then I'm going to Control I. And then, cannot save this document because the document exceeds 2 GB limit. Okay. It's at 2 gigs. What mode do I have this on? It's 8 bits. Why is that so? Oh, I have it at 5,500 pixels. How many inches is that? 18. Yeah, I did that on purpose because 18 by 24 is like a nice poster size. What is it that's taking so much space though? Like, what's my resolution? It's probably the resolution is probably at 300, which makes sense because I want to be able to print this real nice. Yeah. Okay, so that one I didn't use.
Okay.
That was something that I was using as like a sample of something. So let's see. Let's delete this guy. I don't need the background layer, even though that shouldn't really be anything. And then this.
1 second, I'm gonna go let my dog out real quick.
Yeah, go do your thing, man. What is this at? So don't need that. What's this? Oh yeah, that's just to make him more of a. Why did that? Okay, so let's see. I got this guy. Connections with the initial bounds are empty. What's interesting? Oh, because so that what I'm trying to do here is I have a black and white for the skull, but the reason why it's not applying to this is because of that generative fill. So you can see if I turn that off, then the black and white shows through again. So that happens to be a little bit of a mistake on my part because I had that layer turned off. So this is where this is what separates the men from the boys, I guess. So okay, so I will just turn that layer off, and then okay, so I like this. So what I'm going to do, let me see if that'll save, because that should be a much smaller file now. Saving 83%. There we go. Okay, so what's my beard looking like? There's my beard. I really like that beard. Okay, so let's go to the hue saturation. Oh, that's the skull. All right, let's go to here. This is my lights, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change some of these to be green.
Oh,
And
nice.
look at that. Beautiful. So all I'm doing here is I changed my hue saturation. I just added some blue and purple, which you add that to the yellow and it creates that perfect green. And what I like here, so I chose that last one as a green because it was kind of like this, where this already naturally has more of a green at the bottom.
Okay.
So I'm just doing this on, oh, you know what? Actually, bring that in. I'm going to try something real quick because I don't want it to overpower. So if I go to screen, maybe. Nope. Lighten.
Overlay?
No, it's not. Overlay. Oh, what happens actually if I just do colorize? I mean, that's going to change it to blue, but oh, got rid of it entirely. Saturation. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I was trying to do it in a cheap way, but that'll work actually. Let me reduce that, remove that colorize. Actually, you can see that when you colorize it versus adding the color, it like changes the tonality to it. Which is interesting. Okay. Anyway, so that's a good cheap way. If I do another one, hue saturation, invert that guy, and I'm gonna make this. Oh, what color do I want to make this? I want to make it. Well, we got some red. We got some blues. Definitely, I want some blues. So say it's blue. I guess I could just do 3 colors. I could do like blue, green, and yellow. So we said,
yeah. Blue, green.
Let's see. So yellow, green, blue. All right. Yellow, green, blue. And then get rid of this guy. Oh, you know what? Maybe I won't because that yellow is not showing up there. So yellow, green, blue. Let's see how red would work. Do we have anybody in the chat? No. Okay, cool. Let's see. That's a green. That actually goes well with like a purple color, but there we go. Okay. So we got yellow, green, blue, red. So then actually this should be yellow. Wait a minute. How did yellow, green, blue, red? Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, and then red. Okay. So yellow. So then this one should actually be red. Oh, well, that did a good job. Let's erase the blue off of that. There we go. So the green should actually be blue. Getting there.
I need to update this bad boy.
What's that? Your laptop?
Yeah. Because certain effects that I use until I'd have to save them as a JPEG or PNG to see how the effect actually looks.
Oh.
Because while it's working in a program, it's all glitchy and stuff. But that's cool, you know. Work with what I got.
Yeah, it's you do reach a point where you need an upgrade for certain stuff. I mean, I had the reason why I got this computer, this was back in 2020. I think it's a 2020. I think I actually got the end of 2019. I had a project that I was working on for a client, and they had given me, it was a video editing project, and they had I was just editing. They had provided all the footage. It was a documentary. It never aired because it was it wasn't a documentary. It was a documentary, but it was for a municipality. It was a county or a city. I can't quite remember which one.
Yeah.
It was about the homeless population and stuff that they were doing with it. And, it was a really cool project, and I'm kind of bummed I can't show it. But you know how it works with projects where a lot of stuff just gets shelved because of one reason or another. So it got shelved. But anyway, I was making proxies. I was using DaVinci, which is better than I even tried Premiere, but Premiere at least was not. It wasn't doing it. And I ended up they gave me 4K footage, which was just destroying my old computer. And so I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up getting a this one, which is just like such a beast. And now I have an extra warp transforms are only allowed for link layers mask associated with smart objects. Please unlink. Oh, you know what though? Let me just apply this. Oh, where is this thing? Apply layer mask. It's been a while since I've done this. Add mask to selection. No. Oh, this is.
See any good movies lately?
Oh, don't get me started. Hold on. rasterize layer. Let me do that. And then I think I can apply the layer mask. There we go. Because it was a smart object. Okay, cool. So that's the so Maggie and I went to go see what's the Joaquin Napoleon.
Oh, Napoleon. I heard it's pretty cool. It's just a little bit the pacing is a little bit.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm everybody has their own creative vision, so I'm not gonna like crap on it. But I had a big major issue. We walked out. There's only one other movie in my life I've ever walked out on. It takes me a lot to walk out on a movie because I appreciate the creative vision and I love movies.
Yeah,
it's great. Love movies. But the problem was, it felt like, so we were there from the beginning. We saw the beginning credits. We saw all the previews and everything. So we were like watching from the very beginning, but it felt like we walked into the movie half over. We were there for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And every scene felt like it wasn't really connected. There was no depth. There was no, like, the characters. I know that Joaquin, and I can't remember his wife or his his counterpart. I can't remember who plays him, but they were doing very well for the acting part of it. They were giving performances, but I feel like it got lost in the edit. I feel like it was one of those things where we were brought into act 2, somewhere in act 2, but right from the beginning. And if that was a creative decision, then that's fine. But I feel like it was so disjointed. It didn't feel intentional. And I was watching the interviews that Ridley, he's the director, was doing about, like, oh, we have these scenes that we took some iconic scenes of, like, Napoleon looking the pharaoh in the eyes, and like the paintings that we have, the kind of iconic Napoleon things. And I was like, oh wow, they put a lot of effort into it. Kind of like how Oppenheimer was. Like, they put so much effort into it and like a lot of thought. And they used Napoleon's, I don't remember how many letters. It was like 38,000 letters or something the guy wrote in his lifetime. He was just like insane about writing. And so they used that as a lot of, because it wasn't just like, who is this legend that we've built up in our lives? Like, how did he see himself? And they kind of like married, not historically accurate. They married this story to tell some of the stuff that was not historically accurate, kind of like from his perspective, or how he saw himself versus how everybody else saw himself. Anyway, there's a lot of depth to it. But I walked in, I didn't have huge expectations. I mean, I kind of did, but it was like, it was like, my expectation was the appreciation from a cinematography perspective. And like, that was, I enjoyed Oppenheimer, like very few movies. And part of it was because I saw the grain in the black and white film, like on the black and white scenes, and I was watching in IMAX because it was an experience designed for IMAX. And I'll be honest, like, even that black and white grain, I would not have, I don't have enough a discernible eye to know, oh, that's because they developed a new black and white film for IMAX that has never existed before. I never would have known that if they didn't tell me that. I would have just thought that they did in post. I don't know that stuff. But the fact that I knew that, the fact that they had gone through that process of like, this is a film, you know, like analog film movie. Yeah. I mean, the film itself was 11 miles long, I think. The IMAX reel was 11 miles long. So like all these other things that added to the medium, I appreciated. So like the Oppenheimer story was excellently told, but I understand that there's a lot of people that don't necessarily like it, or it was like, whatever, is kind of boring. But for me, I was seeing it through the eyes of the cinematographer and like appreciating the art form of it and being like, wow, there were so many challenges that they didn't have to do this. They could have just done it all in digital and made their lives easier, but they didn't, because that's part of the art form. Anyway, Napoleon, I kind of felt was going to be of the same caliber, probably a more exciting story, but it just felt so disjointed. The music wasn't the decision that I would have made, but I wasn't I wasn't telling the story. So I was like, okay, I appreciate that that's the way that they want to tell it. And like, there's a lot of French lyrics. I'm like, maybe this is telling a story that's actually going on, but I don't understand French. So like, I was like, I appreciate that there's more going on than I can see. Right. But even just removing myself from that and just being like, I'm a viewer, that was really hard to get past. I'm like, just watching it as a movie, I'm like, these scenes don't feel like they really connect. They're just going from scene to scene, and it didn't. I gave it an hour, and I was like, okay, maybe there's going to be something that feels more cohesive. But even those scenes of like him looking into the eyes of the pharaoh, that was something that Ridley Scott had talked about, and like the juxtaposition of like in the painting that's very famous of Napoleon, him doing that, he's eye to eye with the pharaoh, but in the movie they have him stand up on a box because he's a shorter guy and it's supposed to, but like, so I was like, oh, that's cool. I like the idea of like, this would have been reality potentially. Maybe it wasn't, but like it's part of the storytelling arc, and everything kind of fell flat for me. There was no real depth, and I hate to say that because I feel like the things that were happening and the really happy moments, or what would have maybe been considered really happy moments, or even like I don't want to give away too much, but like there's these moments that you would normally feel a little more impact, a little more like either a gut punch or like, oh yeah, I feel that, or like, oh shit, that what there was one thing that happened fairly early on that I feel like they did. It wasn't like a jump scare. Even Maggie was saying this. It was like a jump scare tactic. It wasn't a scary thing, but it was like one of those things to get your emotion going, like, and like I had a little moment of that, but it was like, but I don't feel anything past that initial human response of like, I can't tell you what it is because I don't want to give it away if you do watch it. But anyway, the movie was just disjointing and disappointing to me, to the point where I walked out, and like, I never do that. But especially it was like a 3.5 hour movie or 2.5 hour, however long it was. I'm like,
I think it's like 2.5, right?
Yeah, it was a long movie. So So good movies. No. The best movie that I've seen in a long time was Oppenheimer. But again, like I did you end up seeing that?
Of course. Yes, sir.
Oh, you did? Okay. I don't think that we've talked about it. Maybe we did. But what did you think about it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't go in there thinking I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but it was a movie that kind of really draws you in. I felt like it was shorter than it was, because a good movie gets you so invested in, like, oh man, I hope it's not ending yet. You know what I mean? But yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I forget Cillian Murphy. That was probably outside of Scarecrow. That was the first role I seen him in. And I like, he crushed that. He crushed that shit.
Oh yeah, dude. He did. He did a phenomenal job. What else did I see him in? I started watching, what's that show? Peaky Blinders. Yeah, I'm only a couple episodes in, but he does a good job in that too.
I've seen clips on YouTube about it, but I haven't really been invested to watch the full show yet. But I will eventually. I'm horrible at trying to watch shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the same way. There's some shows that, like, right now I'm rewatching Ted Lasso.
I hear that's a very emotional show.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so let's talk for a second. All right. So Ted Lasso came out in 2021, I think, is when it actually aired. And that's when I started to realize how much 2020 had affected me. So, up until that point, I mean, I was so busy with work that I was able to like kind of bury myself in work and not really understand the impact of like, oh, the world shut down, and like, yeah, it sucks, but I'm dealing with it with everybody else. But like, I didn't realize between that and like moving across country, driving across country when I did during 2020, the height of the pandemic. Like and once we got here, it was pretty insane. Anyway, I didn't give 2020 the credit that I feel like I should have. We watched Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel in a lot of ways. But so I didn't honestly, Ted Lasso was the perfect recipe for positive entertainment. Like it's not just like a sitcom where it's like with a laugh track and like whatever. Like the story, there's a lot of deep meaning in the story. And it like, dude, season 1 especially, there are episodes that made me fucking cry. I'm a grown ass man, and there's episodes where like I'm like, how is it that they've gotten me to care about these characters so much? And like some of these things, dude, it's like it's hitting. I'm like, why? They just said like this, or she sees him run out to the pitch, or whatever it is. I don't want to give anything away. And like stuff happens. I'm like, damn, it's the best. Like so I'm on season 2 right now, and so far it hasn't hit me as much as season 1. Season 1 I feel like was their best. Season 2 was good. Season 3, there's some stuff that happens that I don't want to give away but I mean, like, there's actually some stuff in season 3 that happens that like, oh, you got me again. Oh, dude, you're hitting me. You should really watch it. It's on Apple TV. I
gotta get me some Apple TV.
Dude, it's one of the best shows. And this is my 3rd watch, and I wasn't even feeling like, oh man, I need something ultra positive, but
just kind of hits the heartstrings just right.
Oh man, yeah, it's a very one of the things is they do deal with some serious issues, especially later on,
right?
But I think season 2 is where they really start to deal with the issues. It might be, I haven't gotten there yet. Everything else is like, it's serious, but it's a positive thing. Like, I want to send you a YouTube. Don't look it up.
All right.
I mean, anybody else can look it up, but I don't want, because it's going to lose some of its context. One of the best scenes is there's a dart scene that happens in I think it's season 1. Or no, actually, I think it's season 2. I think I just saw this. And it's if anybody wants to look it up, it's White Knight. I'm sure if you Google Ted Lasso White Knight darts, I'm sure that'll pop up. And that's like one of the like F yeah moments. And it just, you gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it. I wish I could share my thing with you, but
I don't say that out loud.
Yeah. Well, I can't. I don't. Well, I mean, I guess I could technically, but I don't think you're supposed to. And I don't want to. I'm on live, so I can't really be like.
Definitely don't want to be in a bad
influence. Yeah. But I don't know is actually, I didn't even thought about that. Like just sharing the password and username. I don't think that they have anything against that. I don't know, because I've never done it. I know that Netflix started doing that password sharing crackdown, and they said, hey, if you want this, then I think it's like multiple users, it's like another
I was on my
$3 or something.
I was on my sister's Netflix. And to be real with you, does Netflix really have that much point be trying to do that?
Yeah, well, I think when I was watching, it's funny. When I was watching the that kind of stuff unfold, like I was watching on Reddit, people actually pulled up some old, I think they were tweets or something, and I take this with a grain of salt because my memory might be inaccurate, but I'm pretty sure that one of the things that they said was like, we'll never charge you extra, or something, which was the opposite of what they were trying to do. It was something like, go ahead, share your password or something like that. It was ages ago.
Yeah.
And they said that, but now they're going against it. And, I mean, businesses can always adjust, but then people can always say, well, that's fine. That's not what I'm paying for. So
I get it. They can do what they want. It's their platform. But,
yep.
There's a lot more other services out there that are giving me better stuff than Netflix. So I'm not dying to watch a Netflix series right now. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of some that are like, I gotta watch. We have Netflix, but we get it in rotation. Yeah. So I think we're pretty much done. Maggie was watching that Crown. I think it's the Crown with
yeah,
Princess Diana and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I want multiply? Probably multiply. I'm gonna do multiply here. And then, oh, you know what? Let me change this from pass through to normal.
Back to movies.
Oh yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah, go for it.
Have you seen Godzilla -1?
No, my cousin said that it was good.
Bro, this is one of the few Godzillas where you care about the actual people in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it's $15 million budget. They built the director built these little miniature sets and everything. Oh my God, it's such a good movie. Well told story. It brought me to tears.
Really?
Godzilla is the only movie that has brought me to tears.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What did you think about the new Godzilla like style, like his?
I like CGI. The Tomy one of it. It's so in the movie. It's a little like on certain scenes when you see Godzilla, it's like it's not the greatest CG I've seen, but they make up for it with like a lot of the puppetry in other scenes and stuff, and you kind of get over it. Like, this Godzilla or this rendition of Godzilla, like his form is probably in my top 3 right now.
Okay. I haven't really seen. I think the last Godzilla I saw was the one that came out like probably 5 years ago, and it was
Shin Godzilla, or Zilla vs. Kong.
Oh, it must have been No, I think it was the first Godzilla before, because I didn't see Kong. It was he came over to Boston and then leveled it. Like there was like a nuke or something. Yeah. I was out there when it happened, and actually with work, and we went as a company to go see it, and everybody was giving me crap because they leveled my town.
So you're watching the legendary from the. So there's Tomy and there's Legendary. Legendary is the American version, and Tomy is the Japanese version. So you're watching the one with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mean to be mean about it, but it was kind of forgettable. Like I don't really remember it much. It was one of those kind of blockbuster movies. I mean, all I remember, honestly, about it was that scene at the end where Boston gets leveled. It's basically like a tactical nuke or something, and that's all I remember. I don't remember if they mentioned that it was that the one where I know they were trying to be like, oh yeah, we're having like these, I think they called it the monarch species in the new movie.
Shit.
I think that's when they were like, oh, these, I might be thinking of something else too, where they're like, oh, there are these monarch species in like buried in the ground or something. I don't know, like deep in the ocean. They're like, oh, they're coming back and they're taking over. Like they're basically titans. And it's like, I think that's what they did. I didn't watch Kong. And I think that's what they were doing, where they were trying to be like, there's Godzilla, Kong. I'm speaking out my butt because I wasn't following them, but it's just based off of the trailers. I seem to remember that. And then like they might have done Mothra, or were planning on doing Mothra, but this one seemed like it was different than that series. Like what's this new one called that you just watched?
Godzilla Minus. The one that you're talking about is from Legendary, and then the one that's out right now is these are the original company that made Godzilla. So this is their 30th movie with Godzilla in it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's a different company and everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it's like there's an American Godzilla and then there's a Japanese Godzilla.
And so this is the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you'd highly recommend this one?
I highly recommend this one. The storytelling in it is very beautiful. It kind of goes into the idea of, you know, the flawed government of Japan during World War II, or the flawed thinking from the government about how things were done in World War, was it one or two? I think it was World War II, right? That was the one with Germany. I'm horrible at dates, horrible at history.
Yeah, I think I'm not accurate on the dates myself.
I'm gonna say World War II.
Yeah, go for World War II.
Yeah, that one.
One of the world wars that was terrible. Yeah, dude, I make pretty pictures. I don't do dates.
Yeah, likewise.
Speaking of which, you want to see? I just fixed that ball in the end here.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Oh shit! Okay.
So all I did was that was it originally.
Yeah.
And so I just copied this. Well, I'll show you. I just copied that other side.
Yeah.
And then I just masked it out. And so I did 100% masking for the majority of this just to pull it out.
Yeah.
And then just to help this blend, I did a 10% on my flow, just to so it kind of blends a little bit nicer in here. There's a little bit right here. Oh wait, there we go. But that's getting really nitty gritty. So yeah, there you go. Super easy to do that.
Nice.
The one thing that might be an issue, just since we're talking about compositing, I know that I stole the conversation for a sec. But now this obviously has that brightness on it that this one had. And so I can do one of a couple things. I can create more light from like one of these things or something, or try to burn that down, or add. I don't even think burning really. I'll like add maybe another color layer and then just like overlay it. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So go ahead. You were saying.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying.
World War II. You were talking about dates.
Yeah. You're talking about just like the thought process of the Japanese government. You know, like the whole idea of being a kamikaze and having to kill yourself or having to die for your country. They touch on that a lot, and it's like, wow, it's crazy how, you know, some of that affected the people who didn't go to war or who didn't die for their country, and the whole, you know, this idea of it's shameful that you didn't die. And because, well, I don't want to give nothing away in the movie, but it's about a pilot trying to redeem himself, but his thinking is flawed somewhat in the way he has to redeem himself.
Okay. But so you said you were crying.
Oh yeah, I dropped a couple of tears. You know, the Denzel tear came down once.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that it's one that I have to see in movie theaters, or could I just watch it?
I believe the sound in that one, like the sound of Godzilla's nuclear blast, I feel like it's better than the sound in Oppenheimer's explosion from the
Okay.
And the way they like the throwbacks to the music and stuff, like the sound really helps that movie a lot. Oh man, it's beautiful.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, dude, sound is one of the most. Honestly, I think that was part of the biggest issue that I had with Oppenheimer. Not Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer did a great fucking job. Napoleon. Yeah. There was. I never realized how good. I think Oppenheimer. I think had music on almost every single scene, like almost 24/7, not 24/7, but the entire movie.
Yeah.
Except for certain things, if I remember correctly, there were certain ones where it was dead silent, but that was to impact. I think they might have done that during like the explosion when they did the test. And then like, I think it might have been like, you know, the the music in the background, and then it goes off and you see the blast. And I think maybe it was completely quiet so that all of a sudden you get the impact when the wave does hit. But yeah, dude, the sound design is honestly, it's like another character in the movie. And like, what was that? Dune. Seeing, okay, so that's one that you, unfortunately, I feel like is way better in the theater. I haven't seen it on my TV, but movies, if you have good headphones, like I got these XB3s, I think, whatever, they're extra bass, the Sony extra bass ones. These are incredible. So I'll listen to movies with this because it fully immerses me, and it has like really good bass, but you still don't feel it. But in Dune, there's a thing called, I think they just call it the voice, and so it's like kind of this like ethereal voice that comes out of certain characters, and it like vibrates. It's kind of like they're controlling the other person, and so like I could like be like, put your water down, and like, you know, but it like you feel it within you. And so anyway, like the seats shook, and like you felt the vibrations in you, and it like the sound was so good with it that I don't think it would really translate well at your house. So like to your point, I'll see if I can prioritize actually going to see that. How much, when did it come out?
It came out a few weeks ago, but I think it's like a lot of people are enjoying it so much. I think it's going to stick around for a bit.
Okay.
Because it was one of those things where like, oh, the budget's low. It's probably just going to be in for a few weeks, but apparently it's breaking some records.
Okay. Ooh, that made that a little bit icier. Let's see.
The ice more icy.
Is the blue eyes there? I just added the black and white layer over the skull, and it made the blue tone down. And so what I could do is actually see, one of the things I think I might have told you last time we did this was I really like, I know it's not the most efficient, but I really like to like hand paint stuff in, like rather than doing selections. Actually, oh wait, I got an idea. And that's
doing your own stuff, you know.
Yeah, even on client work, sometimes if I'm doing some like pretty heavy edits on something, as long as I'm not under like a super deadline, there are a lot of times where I'll just absorb that time. It'll be like, oh yeah, I could do this in 10 minutes if I do it the efficient way, but I'm enjoying myself and it's almost meditative. So I won't charge them the 2 hours or whatever it took for me to do it. I'll say the more like artsy way, but that I'll find some joy in that, and some like I'm able to slow down. You know, and that's my my choice to do that. And like I could do it in 10 minutes depending on what it is, but in that case, like I could do it in 10 minutes with a selection, but this is enjoyable. You know, I guess that's the difference between the art form and whatever. And so whenever I can, I try to take those opportunities, but it's actually not too bad. I might keep that for right now. Like, well, no, I don't know. Okay, maybe if I do this. Anyway. Oh, that's why. So any other movies that you've been really kind of digging?
I want to go see Monster next, but I'm not sure how long that's going to be in theaters for. So,
what is it?
Monster. That's another Japanese movie. Has to do, from what I can understand, has to do with an abusive teacher to a kid, and I guess it's really affecting the kid's mental health. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too sure what it's about, but definitely want to check it out because it looks interesting. I've been digging a lot more foreign films lately, just to so I can sound fancy when I go to parties.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's a perfect example of exactly what we were talking about. Not to pull you back, but remember how I said that it wasn't really a big deal that the light was coming in over here from the skull. I'm gonna burn this, and so I put it on pretty extreme with 100% linear burn. Curves adjustment, so you can tell really well where we'll actually get nice and dark and where we'll actually get illuminated. So this isn't really a big deal because I have lights over here and I plan on kind of like darkening other stuff, but this is actually, it's a really good way. Like I said, like this looked like it was obviously brighter than over here. This was more even tone, but it wasn't that major. But when you throw a linear burn overlay on it, or adjustment layer, sorry, it's not overlay. It really showcases where those highlights are. So anyway, so that's actually cool because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken. Let me darken that background right now, actually, because I'm playing with the shading and that's kind of important to get down. So anyway, sorry, I wanted to point that out.
Oh, good.
What were you saying? You were talking about movies.
Oh, I'm trying to watch, getting into a little bit more foreign movies, so I can sound fancy when I talk to people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be like, have you seen this French movie? I don't know the name of it. Like, you know, the French really know how to make a movie. Just, talk out my ass a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, bummer. Oh, God damn it. See, here's the issue. What's that?
There is no issue.
No, the only issue is that I want to darken the background, but you can see, like, I'm trying to do just like maybe a multiply or a darken or something and play with that. But you can see I did the AI, which took the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
And so it recreated the dirt there. And so because I didn't do it ahead of time, this is going to be more difficult to do because this won't be able to select this. This would be a very difficult thing to mask out because there's wires and the lighting.
Actually, go to your tools and then select subject on that layer.
You say select subject?
Yeah. So if you go to your magic wand. So click that layer, go to magic, click and hold.
Yeah.
Actually, go up to the top. It should be one that says select subject up there. Up to the top.
If I go up to select up here, I could do subject.
So there's like where you see Adobe Photoshop 2024.
Yep.
No, like I'm trying to point on my screen for some reason. So right above the ruler.
Oh, right above the ruler?
Yeah, go to the center of your screen.
Yeah.
Go over one more.
Oh, this guy here?
Yeah. Is there select subject?
Yeah. So that does this. That will. Yeah. So I'm going to see if there's a different way that I can do this. This is one of those things where like getting the shading right really helps. You know what no, that would have thrown it off too. That's right. I'll figure it out. It's no big deal. Oh, you know what I could do? Let me try this. Hold on. Let me do a new one, but let me do it up here and then try. Do I want to do curves? Let me start with curves and then like bring down all of it. Let me try that. But then I don't want to affect the brightness. I mean the lights. I could also just do that and then mask out the lights pretty easily. Like just one. Let's see, that's hard. I don't want that. What? Maybe darken. Let's try that. And then that'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And then what I could do is maybe I want to do a solid color. This is the thing about Photoshop that I really like is that there's a million different ways to do the same thing.
Let's see what's going on with Pexel real quick. Ooh, parchment. Parchment.
So what else you got going on today?
I have to go to the market later, pick up some dog food. Other than that, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling pizza today, so I might order a pizza. I got to do my daily sketch today, so I'm looking forward to that. Actually, been enjoying my sketching.
Nice.
Yeah, just doing basic shapes right now. I'm really trying to learn how to draw.
Yeah, I always really enjoyed drawing. That's too much. And I actually, when I was in design school, I got a chance to learn how to do it more accurately. Like the because I've told you before, I wasn't really I didn't consider myself an artist. Although what I'm doing right now is definitely artist, but like I see this more as a technical thing. Even though it is very creative, I'm seeing that like with Photoshop, there's very much a technical layer to it. Right. And so like that it for me it's less challenging isn't the right word. It's less daunting because it's just like any other technical thing. Let me try this. Oh, that didn't quite work. Okay, let me back it up or change the layer or whatever. Versus like painting, I feel like painting, it's like, oh, let me put this paint down. Let me try these different brush strokes or whatever. And it's like, oh, that didn't work after it dried. And it's like I got paint over it. Whereas right now I could just turn off a layer and try stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it's less daunting, I think. Anyway. But the thing where they kind of that like they teach you why artists hold their pencil up, you know, and they're like, it's gonna do that. And they're like they draw and like they're scaling stuff.
Yeah.
It took the mystery out of it. It added that technical feature of this is how you make someone's face, and then you base it off of like their eyeballs, and it's like their head is 10 eyeballs long, you know, if you're doing everything based off of the eyeball or the nose or whatever.
Right.
And all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I can draw. Like I can make this thing look the way that I want it to.
Yeah.
You know, so but those fears though that you were talking about, like I used to love doing that. And I used to do that as very kind of the meditative thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, simple shapes are fun. They're definitely fun to draw, and it's definitely my bounds my texture. Was therapeutic in a sense, and just knowing like kind of breaking it down that everything can be simplified into a simple shape. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like you're making a face or a camera or even like this glass here. It's like, okay, well, you have a sphere or a circle and a circle that's a little smaller, and then like a rectangle, and then like you have another one, and you just kind of like connect those lines, which is again like you're breaking stuff down into the different shapes that make it.
Right.
Whoops.
And it's like, oh shit, this is how. Well, not to say this is how easy it is, but in a sense, it's like.
Oh, it is, but that no, exactly. It's
yeah.
it is. I mean, it's knowing the process and understanding the steps along that kind of demystify that and make it more accessible. It's like, no, you don't have to try to draw a vase of flowers. You're just drawing that one flower that starts with 3 circles, and it's like, oh, well, I can draw circles, but how does that make a flower? It's like, well, just kind of connect them. It's like, once you know that process, it's like, that's it? Really? I can do that, so I think that's so cool about learning that process. So
definitely. I don't know about that.
Okay, so that's that.
How do I feel about this? I might have to.
Maybe actually, do I just do this? I'm just going to do the darkness. Do I? Oh, I see. Ooh, it's pretty intense. Yeah, I gotta I'm reworking 124 productions. I'm actually today I gotta finish up. It's raining. Well, right now it's not, but it's been raining really bad. And I do my best writing when it's raining or snowing. There's just something about it. And so I got my founder's corner letter that I gotta send out. And I'm especially because of those 20 days of authenticity posts that I did.
Yeah.
I got some really good
well, pretty cool, man.
Thanks, man. It helped give me so much clarity. I think I said that, and I did in the last one, like the wrap up.
Yeah.
It gave me so much clarity of kind of direction and some freedom to let me feel a little bit more open to doing things that I feel like I could. So, perfect example, 124 Productions, my clientele for the most part has been geared towards construction photography and video stuff because I'm comfortable with it. I like the technical deliverable. There's no subjectivity to it. It's like, this is what was there. Like I can take cool photos. They're not just informational photos of like pointing the camera and being like, this is what it looks like now. Like, it's like you see the guy swinging the hammer and you're kind of telling his story with like where he's at. And like, you learn who these people are and like you get to talk to them. I also really like jumping down into the ditch, being in the trenches, literal trenches with the guys. And like, I like that world. But there was like I won't call it marketing. I guess I will call it marketing, but like my voice of 124 up until this point, like I've been kind of struggling with like, how do I make it be a natural? And like, I'm working with professional clients that do a lot of like government work. So like, you need to have that kind of voice. So I wanted to be casual without being overly casual, professionally casual, I guess, because professionally familiar. I don't know how I'm going to phrase it, but so my thing, it was 124 Productions Imaging Solutions was my tagline, because it's like, I'm trying to tell people in the construction industry, like, hey, I got solutions that for your problems within the imaging realm. But it's boring. And one of the things that I've been doing a lot as you know, is like the history stuff and telling the story of these organizations. And there's like the woman that cuts my hair now. I found an awesome barberess. I don't know what, but she's got a barbershop.
Barbette.
And Barbette, I like that. And I'm like, dude, I love talking to this person, and I love her story of like she's been there for like, I'm like, those are the types of things. It's like, I want to tell your story. Let me have a camera and like I want to do an interview about like why you're here and like how long you've been here, and the place that you're in is like, it used to be an old meat packing house and stuff. And like, I don't know, like, so I think my new tagline is going to be share your story, because I don't, so it's like some things are going to be documentary style, like that video that I did for New York Drive, where it was interviewing the community for this like the impact of the construction, was sharing the community's thoughts. Nobody asked me to do that. We had extra money in the budget, and I was like, this will be a great piece for the county to have as like this was a positive thing. It took us 2 years, year and a half, whatever it was. And it caused a lot of disruption for that main thoroughfare. Right. But hearing from the community members, especially because I was part of those public meetings, and being there once, twice a week, just to take photos and stuff, I knew that they had a story that seemed like it was worth telling. Of these construction guys are not just here to pave the road. Like there's more to it. And like, you got to see how they interacted with the community members, the neighborhood and everything. And like sharing the thoughts of the neighborhood. And like, it was fun. And so that stuff, like Preservation Worcester, I want to share their story, like that crazy, there's that one guy for that, that ghostly image that I did.
Yeah.
I want to share Don. His name is Don, and he was timid. And let me see if I can find it real quick for people that might not know. Ghostly apparitions. I wonder if I can just like pull this in, because I'm just sharing my. Oh no. Maybe I could just do it this way. It's actually looking pretty sick. This guy here, this is Don. And this was a lot of fun for me to do, but it was also more fun because Don, can you see it? You can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Don was so timid and worried that he wasn't going to do a good job. And like, he was nervous, and he did such a great job in projecting. Like, he's like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be loud enough. I don't know if I know my lines, and like the whole thing. And like, I like to tell the story of that. And like, I'd love to have him like do it like an interview maybe with him and talk about this. And then I actually have some GoPro footage that I had I wore the thing on my chest as I was going through, so that I could have like another angle and kind of like this run and gun, not even run and gun, but like a documentary style thing. I mean, I don't even really remember how much it captured, but like this kind of stuff, this is 120. This is what I do, but I haven't marketed this kind of stuff because I was only gearing towards the construction end of things. And this doesn't apply to that. But even like the branding, and like I've had some meetings with other companies, and I'm like, this is what I'm doing anyway. So I should just kind of bring that into the 124 sphere. And so just trying to kind of do that stuff, and
Right.
and allow myself the flexibility of having that, and not being like, I've been fighting against that like corporate voice of like over professionalism, which isn't me anyway. I like to be professional. The way that I communicate is professional, and the way that I write, like I'm writing this letter, and I write very, I won't say grandiose, but I'm not writing it's kind of like an old school letter, the way that I'm writing. And it's, I get that from my dad. There's times even like as I'm writing, I'm like, people aren't going to want to read this. And I know that's not true. It's just the right people that are going to want to read it. And it's like, I have to let myself out, but it's that constant struggle, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I know. And like, I think I said in the video, the wrap up, where I have like 10 views on some of those videos and like a maximum of 50, but those are the ones that people are searching for, not for my thing, but I'm okay with it. I actually lost a subscriber on my second to last day, or my last day. And that was fine. Like I'm not in it for subscribers. So, especially because I've had such good response from other people, and like who said it? God, it might've been Gary V. I don't remember if it was him or not, but said like, if you have 100 people that are tuning into your live stream or watching your video or whatever it is, that's 100 people. So I don't know if it was him, but somebody had said this. And it's like, imagine putting that amount of people, 20 people that have watched these videos. Like I have an average of 20 people for the 20 days of authenticity. And so like, if you put 20 people in a room that are listening to you, that's 20 people. You visualize that versus like, oh, I got 20 views. And it's like 20 people are actually listening to me or maybe getting something out of it. Some people definitely have reached out and been like, dude, this is great. And I've had some other people. one guy, I was posting the Art of Conversation. I made a short about this, but the guy posted as my Art of Conversation video was going up and uploading the previous video. He said, get to the point. We're not here to hear you ramble or like talk nonsense for 2 minutes before getting to the thing. It is about my slides, but like it made me chuckle. It was funny. But anyway, so that's on the docket for today. Is I gotta make sure that I get to that, because I want to finish that letter, because it's the 20 days really helped my clarity of being like, yeah, just let yourself out, man. Like, you are 124. 124 is more than just me, but it's also like that authenticity coming out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I think I just do what makes you happy.
Okay. Sorry. So this let's see. I forget where I was. I was doing something with the skull, maybe. Oh yeah, I was adjusting this like that.
Let's do this. Here, make that older.
I want to do that.
Okay. Photoshop. You can't tell me what to do. No, don't do that. What happened?
The cat is snoring next to me. Okay.
Animals are funny.
Yeah.
Blue, he snores like he has a job, which makes me mad.
Let's see. Can I do this like that? I want to do this. Come on. That's really bright. Do I want to do? Let me try this solid color again.
Let's do this.
Oh, there we go. That's a really easy way to blend that.
Oh, the beach ball of doom.
You said it. Do I want these eyeballs? I don't don't know. Do I want the eyeballs? Maybe I do.
So, kind of art you into outside of photography?
What kind of art?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's. Do you know who? Oh God, what's his name? I like the surrealism. God, what's his name? Johansson. I think it's something Johansson. I haven't followed him for a while, but there was a guy, dude. What was his name? There's something like. Something Johansson. Eric Johansson. Do you know who Eric Johansson is?
I'm not familiar. No.
Oh, dude. Okay, let me share this screen. Okay. Oh wait, I gotta share it. I just turned off sharing, so I can share a different tab. Dude, this is like. I'll just share that tab there. Okay. Can you see the website?
Oh yeah. Eric
Johansson. Yeah. So this guy was so inspirational when I was in school, because I liked photography. I was going for graphic design, but it was, I really like the photography end of it, but I didn't want to just be a photographer. But this is so like these are pieces. So a lot of these I haven't even seen. Let me go back to ones that I know. Wow, these are a lot that I haven't seen. So there was one. A lot of what he does is he'll take stuff and like this one I know the story of. Let me see. There was another one that I liked even better, but this one was good. Where's the moons? Oh, this one's a really good. This one has a video that goes along with it. Let me go back here.
I like that.
So there's a behind the scenes video of this. It's called Landfall. So if I remember correctly, what he did on this one was he set up a little oh, wait a minute. Yeah, stay there. Okay. Yeah, so this little building right here is actually a miniature that he made. And then actually let's see. Let's go to the behind the scenes video because it's really interesting. Behind the scenes night shift. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, let's look at this one because this is actually, I know this one. This is the one that I was looking for. So I'm going to mute it. But you can see like, so he's actually making these moon balls.
Yeah.
And he's spray painting them, but then he actually illuminates them. And he actually, like, he's having them dress up, for the photo shoot. But you can see he's holding these things. So that was like half moon. She's holding that. And so it's not just compositing. It's photography that's enhanced by compositing art form.
Yeah.
And so like I really dug that. So you have like basically they're putting moons in the sky.
That's cool.
And so the final, you can see like what he's doing here is he's cutting stuff out and he's getting the right sizing and stuff. And he's even looking at the lunar phases and what they all mean. And, and so the final is, you can see where he's going. He had that illumination. So he didn't even have to paint the light on her and like in the car. And like he intensified it, sure. But like naturally, that's that's the final result right there. And it's like I think
I like how he has the
it's
blood.
yeah. So he's looking at different phases, and even this one, like you can see that this is probably the one that he had blacked out half of it.
Yeah.
So he didn't do all this lighting in Photoshop. He just accentuated his already really cool idea. I mean, I don't know how much of this was actually lit up in the scene, but I
I mean,
imagine
that light had to have been illuminating some of the ground up, right?
yeah. So like I imagine it was, and he might have just accented it, like changed the curves. I mean, we could go back, but like this was. Let's see. So you can see how much light is being thrown off by these. It's just it's so cool. So I'm really into that kind of stuff. I think it's surrealism, like this one here, Impact, which you can see what it looks like him out on the desert, and he's got these different mirror pieces.
Yeah.
And if I go back, let me go back because that was I saw that pretty quick. I think he does it on like the water. But that's really where it's been so long since. Oh, there's the moon one. The sheep one. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So you can see like there's water in the, actually if I click on this, there's water in the background. The sky is actually shattered.
Oh, that's
so
great.
yeah, the whole thing is really cool. So you get dead fish thrown in there. So yeah, I really dig that. And so that kind of is what inspired my Photoshop artwork, which I haven't done a lot of, to be honest. I've only done a few.
Yeah.
But what about yourself?
Artists that inspire me?
Yeah, our artwork that inspires you.
Oh, let's see. Share my screen real quick. I like share. I can't think of anybody off top right now, but I peruse Instagram a bit, and I've been digging. Let's see. Let me see if I can find them. This guy called Poster. Oh, this is my buddy Daryl Carey, and he does awesome line work, which is hella crazy. I used hella for some reason.
Oh, you said line work?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
all of this.
Oh, man, that's tripping my ass out.
That's a big wall, and he uses electrical tape and just makes every single line. So he does like this. So he did all of this right here. I really appreciate his work. It's super dope. I had him out at an event that I hosted a few years ago, and he did a piece on one of the benches at Cal State San Bernardino, but we had to take it down because I don't think they wanted it out there. But I don't know, just the simplicity of a line and making it into something like this is crazy. And the first day I met him, like I met him at a hip hop event in Chinatown in LA. He was selling his merch and stuff, and he had like this video of his Honda where he was just like using a Sharpie to paint lines all over his Honda. I was like, "Yo, that is crazy, man!" I was like, "Yeah." So I've been, someone that I enjoy, enjoy their art, and then there's this guy, Poster Lad. He just makes these simple little posters. It's just I think these ones like this are really cool. Like it's just
Oh, yeah.
oh my goodness, you just put little shapes over it, and accentuate it, make
Yeah.
it interesting. It's simple. Uh, and then the other one, let me pull it up real quick. Who was it? It's I did not forget his name. It's just, let me see if I can find him on my feed real quick. But it's like a art style. I appreciate the stylized art that he has. That's poster lab. Okay, I'm gonna save that one for later to watch. So I've been using Instagram a lot to like find a lot of inspiration and tutorials and stuff to practice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some good stuff. I'm actually seeing it on your feed right now. Part of the thing that I've had a hard time with is Instagram is so reel heavy that it's hard to find like photography images or
Uh,
like just static stuff. Even for people that I follow, like I'll, even if they're not posting reels, like I'll go through. I think I was telling you this maybe last time. I went through like 20 different posts before I found somebody that I even actually follow,
mhm.
and all of those except for one or two were reels, and it was very frustrating. So I actually haven't. That's cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
he does. I like the stylization of his art. I don't know. I art like this is more appealing to me than like a a realistic portrait.
Yeah, you know what? I don't usually. This stuff doesn't usually speak to me, the vector artwork, but this actually is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's layers to it. I mean, he has in this cell shaded, sharp edge look to it, and it's like, man, this is dope. It's characterized, I guess. Character.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's real cool.
He has this Spider-Man one with Metro Boomin, or Metro Boomin with a Spider-Man mask going down pose. I think it's super dope, actually. Let me see if I can find it. And the way he laid it is something that's he laid it over. I think it's just real cool because it's like a kind of like a risograph. Oh, this one,
Mm.
yeah. Like it's this Metro Boomin
Oh yeah, yeah.
graph. I'm actually thinking about taking a risograph course out in LA to I want to learn how to print.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know how that goes. When do you think it would be?
I sent them an email to see when, like, to send me over a schedule. So depending on when I get a reply back from them, I'll see if I can do something early next year. And I kind of I just want to play around with different stuff. And maybe start instead of doing one big magazine every quarter, maybe do like smaller zines that I print myself and just
Yeah.
send them out
Like
at
print at your house kind of thing?
if at my house or taking to Kinko's or something. Or Kinko still
Oh,
exists.
okay, yeah.
Office Max.
Yeah.
I'll show you where. So this is where I was on this so far. Then I took it into Photoshop and put in some textures and everything. I'm not sure where I want to go with it yet, but I
Oh,
was
dude.
thinking of like a cell dividing, you know,
Yeah.
replicating, uh, becoming its potential. Was it like dividing and turning it into something bigger?
Yeah. Dude, that's sick. Like honestly, the textures sell that
Oh,
so well.
and it's, textures do a lot, man. Throw some grain on there, maybe.
Yeah, dude, I like it. Yeah, maybe throw some grain on there. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, maybe having a little bit of vignette, just a little bit, not too heavy.
Kind of darken up.
That might help with like the graining or the grunginess of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you you know what you might want to try too is one of the things that I like to play with is like duplicating everything. Like you go to the top and then you do what Command Option Shift E, and then if you go to deselect all those layers though.
Oh, deselect them?
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, and then duplicate that, Command J. Okay, so now if you go into filter and the camera raw filter.
So my computer might spaz.
Oh, you can't. It's there, but it's grayed out.
Yeah.
No, it's underneath adaptive wide angle.
Yeah.
I wonder why. It also might be because it was in CMYK. I wonder if it won't do it in CMYK. I can't remember. But like anyway, camera raw filter.
Okay. So like there's certain tools I can't use on my computer, like Liquify.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the capacity.
And that's also, it needs to be an RGB file, and you have it under CMYK.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, this oh, no. What is this? Is this Liquify? No,
that's Liquify. Yeah.
Weird? Oh shit. Okay. I didn't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you could do a lot of cool stuff with Liquify. Even like, I don't. Have you ever used it?
Yeah, but like it's been a while because I haven't used it because I thought I couldn't for a long time. That's changing it up because there's something. There's another design I want.
Dude, there you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll actually. I'm gonna do. I think this is a pretty good place to stop, but I'm gonna throw some camera on this thing just to see. But let me see. I might show you depending on how this comes out. Camera filter. I'm still not close to being done, but definitely closer than I was. Let's see. Detail. Now I want effects because it's under clarity. Clarity, dehaze. No, I'm not going to do dehaze. Maybe add a little bit of vignettes. And then yeah. Cool. This is not. That's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick. So this is something that I like to do is like my final. This is not done. It's not near being done. But so this is where I'm at so far. I still get a lot. Like I'm just initially playing around with like darkening the rest of this stuff. I'm going to play it. Like, don't look at this as.
Yeah. So how you got your lights going and the reflection of the lights, and I'm like,
yeah, and I need to bury part of the edge of the skull, so it's not like this nice clean line. Like I still got quite a bit to do, but just to kind of show what I was talking about. This is the first layer. This is everything flattened. Not flattened because I still have all this editable stuff, but I kind of merged everything into one. And then this is with some quick, just a camera raw filter. I just added a lot of texture. I enhanced some of the brightness, but it comes across. This I really amped the crap out of this, so that's way too clarity. But I like to do this with camera raw sometimes, and then just dial it back a little bit, or maybe like multiple. It depends on what it is that I'm going for. But I find some, especially with lighting, things like with lights, which I almost always like to put lights in what I'm doing. Yeah. Some version of lights, like even if it's the fire behind Turtle Boy, it helps to kind of like solidify stuff. Now, like I said, I amped this up times 100. So this isn't quite right, but yeah, camera. You've used Camera Raw filter before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's even more powerful now, which is it's dumb. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for now because I do have a lot of work to do, and we've been doing this for 2 hours and change. So
shit. Doesn't feel like 2 hours and change.
yeah. Well, I mean, we won't do this next Monday because it's Christmas. But
Merry Christmas to all who celebrate Christmas. Happy
and
Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa to my Kwanzaa brethren.
Happy holidays, even.
Yeah, happy holidays. That too.
So I'm actually going to end this on the live stream side of stuff. So I guess with that, happy holidays. Why am I seeing? Why am I seeing that? Oh, that's behind. Okay, I got you. Okay, sorry. I went to the back end of YouTube and I was seeing you adjust the potential stuff. So for some reason, it was way behind. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Okay, so I'm going to end the stream. All right, everybody, happy holidays, and see you next time. Oh, until next time, be good to each other. Got to end it that way.
Almost forgot.
No, I never forget. All right. There we go.